Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Archbishop Savio Hontai is urging the Holy See to remove Archbishop Anthony Aparon as Archbishop of Agana and to appoint a successor.
To sign or not to sign, the latest on petitions circulating urging the governor to veto Bill 326.
And Nestor Lecanto has the latest from a former attorney general who questions whether that legislation even meets constitutional muster. Hafide Guam and good evening. Alongside Crystal Paco, I'm Jason Salas.
And Guam could soon have a new archbishop leading the Archdiocese of Agana. In a message read to parishioners over the weekend from Apostolic Administrator Savio Hontai, he announces he's in Rome to meet with the Holy See to remove Archbishop Anthony Aparon and to appoint a successor. According to Han, he and the Presbyteral Council wrote to Aparon calling on Aparon to resign. That, however, was unsuccessful. According to Delegate of the Administrator, Father Jeff St. Nicholas, that letter to Aparon was addressed in July. Father Jeff has been left in charge until Han's return on Thursday.
What we are doing in Rome, or what he is doing in Rome, is advocating that our diocese be made a status of sede vacante, meaning that we would no longer have a bishop. In other words, that Archbishop Aparon would no longer be the bishop of our archdiocese.
The action is welcome news to the concerned Catholics of Guam, who've been rallying for years for Aparon to step down or be removed as head of the local church. Andrew Camacho is the vice president of the CCOG.
Very positive thing that happened, and we hope that the Pope and the Holy See will see fit to follow that advice.
In recent months, 5 alleged victims have surfaced stating they were either molested by Aparon or witnessed him engaging in sexual acts with altar boys. Aparon also stands accused of conspiring to give the multi-million-dollar Redemptoris Mater Seminary for free to the nonprofit group RMS Corporation, who lists guarantors affiliated with the Neo-Catechumenal Way. Han assures the faithful that the allegations made against Aparon will be dealt with by the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith, which will hold a canonical trial. Quote, His Holiness Pope Francis is monitoring the proceedings, end quote. Bill 326 is intended to give justice to survivors of child sex abuse, but the Archdiocese of Agana over the weekend asked parishioners to reconsider the legislation's unintended consequences and to sign a petition to urge Governor DeCalvo to veto the measure that's already passed on session floor. Specifically, the church says they'd be subject to unlimited financial liability, as those who've been victimized by clergy decades ago would sue the church and potentially force closure of not only vital community service providers, but also Catholic schools. Here's more. If passed into law, the Archdiocese of Agana predicts Bill 326 could force the church to go broke.
The church fundamentally would go into bankruptcy, and bankruptcy would put all the assets of the diocese on the table. And among those are the schools and institutions, other institutions in our church.
The Archdiocese is currently circulating petitions to veto the legislation and in its place introduce a measure that holds only the abuser, not their affiliated institutions, accountable for past crimes. Father Jeff St. Nicholas is the delegate of the administrator. He admits the church was wrong not to speak up at public hearings. He assures parishioners that the church wants justice, but not at the expense of the innocent. To address this, the church is setting up a trust fund for victims.
We understand and we agree with its intent. Unfortunately, we feel that the full story of the bill has not been said or has not been told, because there are also unintended consequences of the bill, mainly to curtail and to harm the good work and the services that the church does provide. The church is setting up a fund, has already in the process because we recognize that there is a financial responsibility that the church has towards victims. So we do not want to escape that or escape justice for the victims, but we do want to address that head on.
But the petition sends the wrong message. Concerned Catholics of Guam Vice President Andrew Camacho says he was surprised by the church's recent stance on Bill 326.
Our position is, if you are against the bill, you are for Archbishop Aparon and the crimes that he committed. So we are encouraging all people to support the bill, to protect children, and to protect the future of Guam. I'm not aware of any diocese that has gone through the similar kind of thing that has actually closed down schools because of it. It's unlikely. Other churches or other dioceses in the States have declared bankruptcy, but they are still functioning. Bankruptcy protection helps the diocese survive, basically intact. Many of them have set up funds to help victims, but it does not destroy the diocese.
According to Father Jeff, the petitions will be submitted to Governor DeCalvo's office by Wednesday, September 21st. According to Governor Calvo's spokesperson, Oyal Niralicle, the governor's legal team is reviewing the bill. Governor Calvo has until Friday to take action. At this hour, the Lady Forward movement is gathering in front of the governor's office to host nightly prayer vigils for survivors of sex abuse. Lady Forward movement's Lou Klitsky tells KUAM they hope the governor will sign the bill so justice can be served to survivors. And author of Bill 326, Senator Frank Blas Jr. tells KUAM he's hurt that the church would raise a specter of fear. Quote, "It's far from the truth. As a Catholic myself, I was raised to always protect those who are innocent and those who are helpless. If the argument is to protect assets over protecting the life of a victim, what's happened?" End quote. Blas says he's praying Governor DeCalvo signs the bill so that victims may have the opportunity to make their lives whole. He adds, quote, "This is not about the church. The church is going to exist. There are many good people in the church. It's not going to go away," end quote.
Meanwhile, a former Attorney General and longtime Legislative Legal Counsel cautions that the bill may not survive a legal challenge. Doug Moylan is urging the governor and senators to seek an opinion from the Supreme Court on whether the measure even meets constitutional muster. Nestor Lecanto has our next report.
Doug Moylan says the section which extends the statute of limitations indefinitely could be a problem because a previous law for filing abuse cases already opened a 2-year window that has since closed.
But then all of a sudden, the legislature is attempting now to revive it, which it hits the Due Process and Equal Protection Clause of the Organic Act and the U.S. Constitution.
But Moylan is also concerned that the law would open the floodgates for claims that could bring the church to its financial knees.
You open up the can of worms by letting a lawsuit proceed by opening the statute of limitations again. The amount of money that the Catholic Church is going to have to invest to pay people like me, lawyers, to defend itself is going to be ruinous to them.
He says the victim should file against the individual perpetrators, not the local institution. And for those abusers who have died or lack resources to pay, Moylan says the Vatican has a procedure to provide restitution for victims similar to a government claims act.
In this case, part of it goes to people's trust in the Vatican. These people were injured. Can the church provide the appropriate compensation? The lawyers on Guam should actually be looking to the Vatican to see what type of relief is available.
Administrative institutions under the Archdiocese likewise fear what might happen if the church is forced into bankruptcy. Catholic Social Services, for one, has been providing help to the poor, the disadvantaged, and the marginalized for the past 37 years. Executive Director Diana Calvo.
Speaking for the Catholic Church and specifically for CSS, you know, that might have an impact on how we will do business and whether or not we will continue to do business in some of the certain program areas.
Calvo says CSS is a provider of victim service and understands the impact of abuse, but she says it must be balanced against the good work and ministries the church does provide.
It's not anything about victim restitution because we're all supportive of that.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And also, it appears a new group has surfaced in support of Archbishop Anthony Aparon, called I Familien Mangatoliku Siha para si Aparon, or Catholic Families for Aparon. President Dr. Ricardo Eusebio addressed a letter to Apostolic Administrator Archbishop Savio Hontai Fai today, calling him out for public lynching. According to Dr. Eusebio, statements made by the church continue to attack, discredit, and smear Aparon and violate the common law that every person is innocent until proven guilty. Catholic Families for Aparon also chimes in on Bill 326, stating the legislation clearly and unfairly targets the Catholic Church. The group states they also want justice for victims of child sex abuse, but they do not believe justice is accomplished by the proposed legislation. You can read the doctor's letter in its entirety on KUAM.com.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Gov Guam employees, retirees, and survivors, enroll today.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
No problem. Check our new Galaxy S7 Edge.
Our network is faster and more reliable with increased reach throughout the islands, Guam, and the Cedar Isles.
What do you think?
It's lit.
Make sure we're getting ready. Excuse me. Hey, Flacco, what's in the bag?
McDonald's new Mighty Wings.
Those look good. I'll play you for them.
For what, my wings?
First one to miss has to watch the other one eat.
Let's go. Left upright.
I want to eat off the scoreboard through the uprights. Oh, man. Not again.
Cap, you trying to get my wings?
Nah, I'm right here.
What's that noise?
At Project Carinu, we work with young children from birth through 5 years of age to improve their social and emotional well-being. We're part of Guam's system of care, and partnering with other programs, your child is our focus.
Project Carinu helped us address our son's social issues. With the different services provided by Project Carinu, our son can express himself more clearly.
If you can dream it, you can do it. In the all-new Ridgeline from Honda.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Another week of hearings continued at the Office of Public Accountability over the $100 million contract to renovate almost all of Guam's schools. And today, Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez was the latest witness to take the stand. Ken Catanita has more.
My involvement in the review of the RFP was basically to represent the department as a party in the procurement. Now, we are not, unlike other procurements that do come through DOE, we are not the procuring agency.
And although he's on administrative leave until next month, DOE Superintendent John Fernandez did show up to the OPA this morning to testify over the $100 million contract to renovate Guam's schools. Attorney Joyce Tang, who represents losing bidder Cortec International, questioned Fernandez and his involvement with the RFP.
My interest along the way was always to, number one, make sure that we were very clear on what the laws authorized and develop an RFP that was in compliance with those laws and could be effectively, let and completed, in a timely manner.
And while she had raised issue last week over the $100 million cap with GAF officials, today Tang questioned Fernandez over whether changes in the title had an impact, or rather flexibility in the negotiations.
Did the negotiating committee have the authority to deviate from the requirement that the proposal had to provide 40% of the seating for enrollment 2300 for cafeteria seating?
In my mind, yes, there was that authority.
What's the basis of that authority?
And the basis of that authority, again, is my personal opinion as part of the negotiating committee, that we had the ability, after asking in our meetings, to negotiate around the scope that was part of the considerations.
In the meantime, Fernandez testified that as part of the evaluation committee, they did not include price as a factor.
So price was not considered.
It was only considered to the extent that reviewers of the applications were able to be aware that there were cost proposals included in the proposal. But we did not spend any time to work through the costs.
He further testified that when negotiations commenced in February, he did not ask to cease any discussion, even though they didn't have the all-in costs at the time.
During the negotiation process, my understanding of the process was to work with an offerer to reach agreeable terms. We had not focused on the price during evaluation stage. So it was, we did spend those first couple of weeks trying to make sure as a committee that we understood the full cost proposal.
The hearings continue later this week. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Well, we first broke the news yesterday on Instagram at around just prior to 4:30 Sunday morning. A two-car collision on Route 14 by the Hilton sent a total of 10 people to the hospital. A 2016 Toyota Sienna van collided with a green Nissan Versa. And according to GPD, 2 people were transported to the nearby Guam Memorial Hospital, with the other 8 people transported to Guam Regional Medical City in Dededo. Captain Kim Santos says the driver of the Versa is in critical but stable condition, with the accident remaining under investigation. Well, and at about 10:30 this morning, an auto pedestrian accident occurred downtown. GPD says an adult male who is in a wheelchair was on the crosswalk in front of the Superior Court attempting to cross the street towards Shirley's when he was struck by a Toyota Tacoma. The victim did receive slight abrasions but refused treatment from medics on the scene.
With 49 days remaining until the general election, the Guam Election Commission will be training today for over 300 precinct officials set to work on November 8th. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says all precinct officials must attend their assigned village training, even if you were already a precinct official during last month's primary. She says along with having a more objective written test, the training will be slightly different and address concerns raised by voters during the primary election. And while most of the precinct official slots are filled, she is still accepting applications for alternates. The training started this evening for the village of Chigo at 5:30. More information, call GEC at 477-9791. Just short of a year ago, the Micronesia Community Development Corporation announced its selection as Guam's Mutual Self-Help Housing Program designee. Over the weekend, the MCDC held a groundbreaking ceremony for the Sagan Bonita subdivision in Mangilao. According to MCDC Administrator Carlos Camacho, he is proud to provide another resource for families to realize the Guamanian dream of home ownership.
What we do in our mission is provide affordable housing to the working class families. I want to use the word working class families because there's many definitions. They're defined as low, very low, but they're all working. Because at the end of the day, they're going to build this home, sweat, blood, and tears.
The primary mission of the MCDC is to serve low-income communities and low-income persons by providing investment capital in the form of loans and investments. For more information, head to mcdcguam.org.
And now, according to our Facebook page, what for many of you was a story of the weekend, as Saturday morning a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held marking the grand reopening of KFC in Dededo after undergoing weeks of renovation and remodeling. Here's General Manager Frank Cruz.
I still can remember like it was yesterday. And now we're here, 30 years later, close to 30 years later. And for a long time, the store, I said, we need to remodel, try to catch up to the times. And what a change. So this is for the customers, for our employees, for our staff, for the community. It's just great to be a part of it.
The Dededo KFC is located in the Macheche Plaza.
Sports is next.
This is what we do on Guam's best network. We're the filter killers, the likers and sharers, the bingers and Netflix chillers, tweeters and hashtaggers. GTA has improved their 4G LTE network, covering 95% of the island, delivering faster data speeds, strength and quality, and more reliability than ever. It's just what you need. So switch to GTA and step up to a better network, a strong network that lets you do what you do. GTA, better LTE than ever.
I prepare. I train. Through strength, determination, and focus. You can overcome anything because every step, every move brings you closer to your goals. This is what makes you an alpha.
To prove how authentic my new brewhouse bacon burger is, I'm going undercover at an actual brewhouse.
That's awesome. Amazing.
What if I told you you're eating a Jack's Brewhouse bacon burger from Jack in the Box?
Not this one. I'll tell you lying.
And what if I told you that I'm Jack?
No!
Didn't see that coming, did you? Order real cheese sauce, grilled onions, and bacon on an artisan potato bun. Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger. New from Jack in the Box.
Hey, where'd Jack go? He was just here.
So what's the next one up? Says it's a Buick. Wow, that doesn't look like a Buick.
So your dad let you borrow the
Buick, Mr. Simmons. And it's got a 5-star overall safety rating.
I don't think that's what he's worried about. I bet you haven't seen anything like it.
It's a Buick.
And what you'd call an early adopter.
Now get this 2016 Buick Regal starting at $29,995. Visit AutoSpot Buick today for great offers. We are your Buick dealer of Guam.
Off today, Guam, Chris Barnett, Monday, woohoo! Coming up on the show, football of the National League variety and trench mutter, but let's kick it off with a little high school gridiron action right now. Hey, let's get the show started tonight with Interscholastic Football League action. Guam High Panthers traveling to JFK to take on the Islanders. Solomon White connecting like LinkedIn with his receivers. Early, big gain here to put his team in scoring position. Red zone, goal line, running back Juan King going under center and takes it to the right side behind his blocks for the game's first touchdown. King doing work again with his running. Nice bounce to the outside. King breaking a tackle, going up the sidelines to pick up the first down. Hey, if it works, keep doing it. A few plays later, Juan getting the call again, taking the snap and going right for another TD run after the spin move to avoid the defender. The Islanders mounting a late home field comeback, getting into a groove offensively. Ricky Brown faking the handoff. Muller looking left, hits his receiver on the left side to keep the drive alive. Brown drops back again, this time going to his tight end, Deontay Delgado. Brown would punch it in for the score right before the half. Close one, though. The Panthers edging out the Islanders for the dub, 20-19. Sean Gomez with a stop for JFK here. 2-yard loss on the swing pass by White. Ready to get down and dirty with Trench Mutter? The inaugural Trench Mutter 5K obstacle race, October 9th. And join us here at the stations of KUAM. We've got a few teams going already. And, of course, you and your coworkers or training partners can sign up, or you can go solo. There's even a 5K trail run you can do if over 20 obstacles just ain't your thing. I look forward to 10 Powerade hydration stations over the course, and finishers get some sweet goodies, including a Hop Aloha Dry Fit, Ice Cold Heineken, Papa John's, and a Bank of Guam Finishers Medal. And it's all for a great cause. Check that, causes. Funds going to the Guam Cancer Care and Special Olympics Guam. Register online at trenchmutter.com or at Hop Aloha in Tumon. We'll get you more info and exclusive Trench Mutter sneak peeks and interviews as we get closer to T-Day. All right, let's head down to Tumon TGI Fridays on this Monday. My man Dave Delgado, our sports director, Game Day Grub. Yo, Dave!
Game Day Grub is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
Thanks, Chris. Dave Delgado here at TGI Fridays for Game Day Grub with Andy Wheeler. It's the Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings up 10-7 after a late field goal. Now, Adrian Peterson being held down by the Packers defense. On the other hand, the Vikings defense kind of containing Aaron Rodgers, not allowing him to pass for too many yards. He did hook up with Jordy Nelson on a 1-yard touchdown. So let's check out how the rest of the game played out. Adrian Peterson was held to only 19 yards on 12 carries before going down with a knee injury. Peterson taken into the locker room to get checked out. Sam Bradford holding it down for the injured Teddy Bridgewater. Bradford to Stephon Diggs for the 25-yard touchdown. Vikings go up 17-7. Diggs with 182 yards receiving on 9 receptions with this touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 213 yards passing on 20 of 36 attempts. Rodgers getting in for the score here off the 10-yard run. Trey Wayne stepping up when he had to for the home team. Wayne's coming up with the interception. This was Rodgers' only of the game. Bad timing, though, for the Packers. 3rd and 6, Demarius Randall called for the pass interference. Automatic first down for Minnesota. Vikings get the win at home, 17-14 to improve to 2-0. Make sure to catch Game Day Grub every Monday and Friday with your boy Andy Wheeler down here in Tumon. Chris, back to you.
All right, thanks to Bit. Let's look over some scores now. The Pittsburgh Steelers at home over the Cincy Bengals, 24-16. It was the Titans beating the Lions at home, 16-15. Ravens, 25-20 over the Browns in Cleveland. And the Cowboys over the Redskins, 27-23. Saints losing to the Giants at home, 16-13. And the Panthers over the Niners, 46-27. Dolphins 24, Patriots 31, yes. And the Texans 19-12 over the Chiefs at home. Rams 9-3 over the Seahawks. Cardinals winning big at home, 40-7 over the Bucks. And the Chargers 38, Jaguars 14. Falcons 35-28 over the Raiders in Oakland. And the Broncos looking hot, 34-20 over the Colts. And as we saw there, the Minnesota Vikings 17, Packers 14. Well, there you go. Football! Hey, remember, anything sports, show at KUAM.com. Hit up our sports director, Dave Delgado. That's SHO like first show. My name's Chris, so you keep on shining, Guam. Adios!
Cause you and I, oh yeah, we could fly so high, so high. You and I won't let this moment pass us by, pass us by. I won't let this moment pass us by. Won't let this moment pass pass us by. Won't let this moment pass us by.
The Nissan Summer Fun event is on. Get into a new Nissan Sentra starting at $98 per pay period with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3 years protection plan and free paint sealant. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan sedans, including Versa, Maxima, and Altima. Take advantage of super low easy financing and save even more. It's the hottest summer event ever at Nissan Upper 2 months. Sentra starting at $98 per pay period. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast. Blast off! And now birthdays are more of a blast than ever. Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double.
Tourism. It's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $11.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $11.99 each, only at Pizza Hut.
Come celebrate with Ulitao, Guam's proud seafaring tradition at E Fiestan Sadan Tasi, the Festival of the Canoes, October 1st and 2nd at the Valley of the Lati Talafofo River. Canoe carvers, artists, farmers, and local craftsmen will join us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Matson Navigation, the Guam Visitors Bureau, Heineken, Kloppenberg Enterprises, GTA, Uno, the Guamanian Magazine, and the stations of KUAM are proud sponsors of this event. Tickets are available at Shell stations in Tamuning, Dededo, Barragata Tri-Intersection, and Chalampago. For info, visit valleyofthelati.com or call 789-3342.
Let us start this week and ending our broadcast by saying happy birthday to some extra special Guamanians. These are the newest inductees into the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. And we start off by saying happy birthday to Joe Patrick Kanata. Happy birthday, honey. I love you. From somebody.
Not Jason, honey.
Yeah.
Happy 4th birthday, Kayani Janae Augustine. Love the family.
All right. Carol Castro, a.k.a. Pama. This comes from your favorite family.
Happy birthday, BJ Diego from the family.
And we've got some belated birthday wishes to get to, starting off with Karen Palomo. Happy birthday, Karen.
Happy belated to Leanne Paredo from her husband and son.
Benji has a birthday today, and it was Benji's 61st birthday. Their family says, love Pa and Troy.
And last but not least, happy birthday, Glenn Kanata.
All right, everybody, go to KUAM.com, register, tune in, and smile. Stay tuned. We got extra coming up.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Hi there, everybody. Jason Salas here. Thank you so much for watching KUAM News Extra. Nestor Lecanto leads off tonight's show with a story about 2 promising entrepreneurs who want to bring you your next meal.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
It was on a trip to the Philippines a few years ago that Kevin Hashimoto got the idea for his business. He says during his stay in Manila, he and his group would have lunch delivered to them. He made a mental note of how convenient it was and how it might work on Guam.
After our trip coming back to Guam, we're at home, all at home. We're watching a TV show, and the idea kept bothering me. So I kept asking people. I asked my girlfriend, "Hey, would you get food delivered aside from pizza?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Then how much would you pay?" And she said, "Anywhere from here to here." I'm like, "Okay." So I started talking to more friends and more family members and asking them if they would actually get food delivered. Everyone said yes. So that led me to ask more friends, and from there we started the business plan. 11 months later, we started signing up restaurants.
His company is called Good to Go, We Deliver. And as the name suggests, he's in the takeout food delivery business.
I think convenience, no doubt, is our product, our service. we save people time for lunch or for dinner. We have a lot of customers who order and use our service for lunch meetings, for birthday parties, for lunch, and then at night we save parents a lot of time, having to prepare dinner, so they can get the kids ready for bed, help them with their homework, and before they know it, they have dinner ready at home.
The young entrepreneur said it took a while for his idea to catch on, and he spent a lot of hours knocking on doors trying to convince people it would work.
Starting out, talking to different restaurants, a lot of pushback, a lot of doubt. Definitely people didn't understand what we were trying to do. So it was definitely difficult trying to sell the vision to them that people on Guam would love to get food delivered. But it just took a few restaurants to believe in us. It was actually Caprichosa, Tony Roma's, Denny's, and Simply Food, the first 4 that actually said, yeah, let's give it a try. From that 4, it became 8 restaurants to 16 to over 20 different restaurants now.
Hashimoto says delivery charges start at $7.99 and vary based on drop-off locations. He says his drivers can deliver from the front gate of Anderson Air Force Base to Asan Park and anywhere in between. And he says ordering is simple too.
Customers have 2 options. So they're at home or they're at the office thinking, I want to get my food delivered. And they can call our call center at 300-7890 and place an order through our call center. Or if they would rather just do it online, they could do that too. So let's say if you're calling our call center, you place your order with our dispatchers in our office. Tell us what you want to order with whatever restaurant we have on our list, and we'll call the restaurant, place the order for you. Our driver will pick it up and deliver the order to you. You can go on our website at goodtogowedeliver.com, create an account. It's just an email, password, and a delivery location. And you can select from any of the restaurants. You can get it delivered today or tomorrow. And you're able to input like special instructions if you want no MSG. You can indicate what temperature you want your steak cooked in, and other things like that.
He says a lot of his customers are military personnel who are likely familiar with this type of delivery service back on the mainland. But Hashimoto says the service is also catching on with locals.
We have a really good and awesome customer base. We love our customers, and we just want to provide them with more options. We just signed up 3 really great restaurants, Applebee's, IHOP, and Pyology. And I think those are great additions to our list of already great restaurants of options.
Hashimoto hopes that as more and more restaurants sign up, the service will keep growing as well.
It's doing really well. Definitely the beginning was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. 100%, I think ignorance was my greatest asset, because if I knew it was going to be this difficult, I didn't know if I would still do it. But definitely getting involved, and the idea just kind of was just really exciting.
For KUAM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
Sit tight, we are back after this.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Tidus Ma'asi, Matson.
How come you're not training for the Guam Coca Road race, man?
It's not even fair, bro. I'll just win that.
Boom! Got him.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a real treat that we have Guam's only Pulitzer Prize winner in studio right now to talk about what is sure to be a must-have coffee table book for not just your living room, but basically for anybody or anybody in the world who wants to appreciate absolutely outstanding imagery. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome Manny Crisostomo to, which is the first time we've ever actually met. So half a day.
Yeah, half a day.
It's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Yeah.
And of course, the very lovely, the very beautiful, and the
Oh, you're so sweet.
very informed Dr. Kimberly Keeling. Welcome back.
Thank you, Jason, as always.
Okay, so Manny, welcome home, first of all. You've been doing, like your round with the press and everything like that, showing people the book and celebrating 40 years of a truly remarkable career behind the camera and capturing images. Tell me about that.
Well, like I was saying earlier, it's like, I'm just a Chamorro boy from Sinajania that got interested in photography and try to see the world with it and stuff. And I've been to some amazing places and I've met some incredible people. And then I decided to come back and show my people, Chamorros in their island, and then share it that way. And then left again to see what else was out there. And it's just great to be back. It's just a local boy going out taking pictures in the world.
Well, we're incredibly proud of you. And again, you won the Pulitzer Prize in, was it 89?
That's correct, yeah.
1989 when you were working at the Sacramento Bee, or was it the Detroit Free Press?
The Detroit Free Press.
The Detroit Free Press, okay.
Right.
Which is a place and a climate, as you said in past interviews with us, almost the polar opposite of Guam in terms of,
right,
the things going on and the amount of violence at the time.
Right.
How did you find, in terms of like Guam with our flora and fauna and, the people and what you can see every day and capturing that as a photographer and then bringing that into the city of Detroit?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think for me, it's not so much, I think it's more just my upbringing and stuff. My parents instilled a work ethic in me. And there's a sense that the Chamorro spirit of sharing and even humor and stuff. So I think I used a lot of that to my advantage, going to assignments in Detroit and just, being, just chillax and stuff and kind of work with the people and stuff. And
that is a beautiful word to spread to our friends in the mainland.
Right?
We use it out here religiously.
Yeah. And just work hard. My mom and dad said just work hard and they'll be amazed what things could happen. So I just honed and practiced my craft and yeah.
Well, Kimberly has your book right now, and although this is several pages and it features some of the amazing work you've done in capturing the human condition, if I may, like over the years in a variety of different scenarios and places around the world. Kimberly, how is it being received right now? Because we're so proud of Manny and everything he's done to represent us and everything, but to be able to see someone who expresses his own perceptions and his take of the world and of events and everything.
Well, this is a catalog of the exhibition that we're actually having and we've presented at the Agania Shopping Center right next to Subway. The exhibit features just a highlight of Manny's exceptional and diverse body of work for the past 40 years. There's approximately 150 photographs in the exhibit. And we are very fortunate as well through a sponsorship from Bank of Guam to also produce an exhibit catalog. So the exhibit catalog includes over 90 photographs that you'll find in the exhibit. And so we highlight different aspects of Manny's career, starting off with his early work here in Guam, right? When he was at the PDN and going to UOG and then taking him to Missouri, where he went to the University of Missouri, the journalism school, which is a very prestigious school.
Go Tigers.
And then
Mizzou.
They lost yesterday in college football. I'm sorry. Really good game, though. Yeah.
On to the Detroit Free Press, where he won the Pulitzer, and then he did other award-winning work as well. But in the meantime, as he mentioned, he got to come home, and we highlight some of those photographs. His homecoming in the 90s are in the exhibit as well, and then his other award-winning works, The Leftover People and The Wait. And then his more recent work, including some of the photographs that he took at the Festival of Pacific Arts earlier this year.
And that continues to be on display right now. At the
yes, that will be on display. It opened on the 15th of September, last Thursday, to a great crowd. We had over 200 people who attended, and that will run through October 29th. So it's a 6-week venue. And then in addition to the exhibit itself, we have a lot of programming as well. We've been running Manny around since he came, doing tours, workshops, conversations. He'll be giving a public lecture at the University of Guam on Wednesday, on the 21st, beginning at 6 p.m. So I encourage everyone to come out to that as well. And then, of course, you can buy the exhibit catalog. It'll be on sale at the lecture.
Fantastic. Now, Manny, would you agree that, with your prolific body of work over the years, 4 decades of capturing and chronicling human history, in your line of work, being a still photographer, is it as much the machine as the man, and you complement your gear as much as your gear complements you, or is one more dominant than the other?
No. And I'm a gearhead too. So when new things come out, I'm really excited to test it and stuff. Usually I use my twin girls as as well, do some video, and the title of the video is "Daddy's Got a New Camera." So he has to test it. So it's amazing. There's some amazing tools out there, and it makes my job easier and stuff. I mean, I was talking to somebody about analog versus digital, and I said I don't want to go back in the darkroom. I mean, it was just that was you can only shoot 36, and then you have to stop and take out the frame.
Those were fun days on a lot of long nights.
But if I have a 128 gig card, I can shoot forever. So it's I geek out in it, it's for me, it's the interaction with the people, and it's just trying to do things that interest me, that I'm curious about, and like I wanted to come home and do FestPack, and it was, the funny thing is, Jason, you know this, I do a lot of video now for my newspaper, for the online stuff. So I said I just want to shoot, I just want to take pictures, and when this opportunity came out, it's like 2 weeks of just taking pictures. I don't have to worry about producing a video. I produced a couple of iPhone videos.
Well, technically, we here at KUAM, we're all colleagues, but we're all big fans of yours, and we're greatly inspired by your work. So, but before we go to our commercial break, I must ask you the holy war question for any photographer: are you a Nikon or a Canon guy?
Work supplies me with Nikon. I started with Canon, but my camera of choice is Leica.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
You heard it from the man himself, everybody. So for those of you gearheads who are wondering about what camera to use, if it works for Manny, it can certainly work for you. All right, sit tight. We're back after this.
At IT&E, we know how important it is to stay connected, especially for students and their families. That's why IT&E is proud to give students more with the Motion Student Plan. It's just $30 a month for unlimited talk and text and 3 gigs of 4G LTE data. Bring your own device and get an additional 2 gigs and up to 3 months free. Students can do more with IT&E's 4G LTE network. Unlimited talk and text plus up to 5 gigs of 4G LTE data a month for just $30. Now that's life in motion.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $11.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $11.99 each, only at Pizza Hut.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
All right, everybody, our friends at the Guam Young Professionals Organization are organizing a legislative forum, helping you to understand the people that are running for public office and how you can understand the issues for which they stand. I have got Michael Gatewood and Nate Timinglow, 2 friends of mine who are doing wonderful things in the island's private sector. Gentlemen, half a day.
Half a day. Thanks for having us.
Okay, well, it's interesting, I would say, Michael, start with you, as young people, dynamic, interested in with private sector issues and everything like that, organizing prospective senators and everything to come and share their thoughts on the things that concern you as far as capitalism.
That's correct. I think GYP, for the election, what we really want to do this year is focus on issues that relate to our membership and our age dynamic between 21 and 40. And we also want to focus on hot topics that are happening right now on the island. So we're very excited. It's going to be this Wednesday at the Westin Resort on the 21st So we're very excited to have everyone, participate. And we have a record of 24 candidates that are confirmed to be there. So that's a lot of people.
That's going to be a lot of feedback and a lot of Q&A, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay, so Nate, what are some of the topics that that influence your age demographic? For GYP, as Mike just said, 21 to 40. So you're getting a lot of people just out of college, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Some people in middle management. Some people, moving up the corporate ladder. Is it things like the ongoing topic with minimum wage and innovation, growth, things like that?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. We're going to be bond focused with this. We're going to be touching topics that are really relative to guys in our age demographic, mostly because a lot of the decisions we're making now policy wise are going to be affecting us in another 20, 30 years. So we're going to hone in on those. Like you mentioned, minimum wage is a huge issue for us. We're going to try to be young professional focused, but at the same time, just young demographic focused.
And since you are, representing the islands, private sector where a lot of the island's best and bright minds go because they want to create, the next Amazon, the next Ford, things like that. I would assume that you guys are going to hold these candidates to a very, very high standard.
Always, yes, definitely. We have our moderator is Logan Regis, who's no rookie to this. I think he's hosted and moderated about 3 or 4 times, and the past
president of GYP, right?
He is. Thank you. And he's pretty experienced at this. Him and Mars Johnson have done this a few times, and they're going to keep the ball rolling. And we have about 8 questions, lined up for all the candidates, and they're going to have about 1 minute to give their introduction, to introduce themselves, explain their platform, and then each candidate's going to answer about 2 questions each for about 90 seconds. And some of them relate to, like Nate said, business issues, and some of them relate to some of the more recent, like the deportation issues, and that's something that our membership wants to hear from as well.
Now, when your membership, Nate, gets to be past the cutoff point of 40 years old, you guys will move on to upper management, executives, hopefully business owners, starting your own companies and things like that. At that point, you'll begin to work with these senators, on a more direct level, crafting policy, formulating ideas and everything like that. So you get as much out of this, not only as voters, but as business people who will directly work with them.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. A lot of people think that the Guam Young Professionals is just a bunch of 21-year-olds hanging out. We have Mike Awood's an attorney at previously Carl Smith Ball. And, a lot of our members constitute not just young leadership, but executive leadership in some of our largest institutions. We have a couple of executive vice presidents from the Bank of Guam. So, it's interesting seeing the dynamic of who's in the group. We have about 172 members, and we represent, all levels within professional service. So, it's, considering the demographics of those that are running for senator positions, I would probably say that, we're up towards the higher end in terms of what the types of questions that we're going to be asking. We're not just going to hone in on basic issues. We're really going to try to dig into some of the senators and their positions.
You guys are going to dive deep.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like how you quantified the fact that you've got like over 170 members, because if people would like to attend because they feel that, the private public, intersection is important to them, do they have to be a member of GYP or the chamber, and if not, can they pay to attend?
No, it's open to the public. You don't have to be a member of the chamber. You don't have to be part of the Guam Young Professionals, and it's $25 to attend. And it's this Wednesday, September 21st at 11 at the Westin Somnak Ballroom from 11 to 2, and it's $25. And if you would like to register and RSVP early, I recommend that. We're filling up fast, so they can call the chamber directly at 472-6311 or email them at info@guamchamber.com.gu.
Right.
We are filling up fast.
Okay.
So,
and if for people, for whatever reason, they're not able to make it or they can't stay for the whole thing, will you guys be live streaming it or posting, like notes on social media?
at this time, I don't think we are planning for that, but that's a great idea. Hopefully we can get something from now until then so we can live stream.
We'll tell you what, we'll see if we can help you out with that.
Awesome.
Let's go talk about, we're going to go to commercial break. We'll see if we can see, this is how the private sector works, deal making.
Yes.
All right, we're back after this.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
It's the kickoff to savings event at Cars Plus in Muncie, going on now through September. Save thousands on a brand new Hyundai. Experience the award-winning Hyundai lineup with the best warranty on Guam. 10 years or 100,000 miles. The 2017 Hyundai Elantra starting at just $16,995. That's right, a 2017. Or how about the Hyundai Accent starting at just $11,995? Unbeatable. SUV lovers, the Hyundai Tucson is starting at just $21,995. The perfect vehicle for those tailgate parties. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com for easy shopping and quick financing. Kickoff to savings going on now at Cars Plus, driven by you.
We got one more item to tell you, my friends, before we put this show in the history books. The MagPro Awards is back, and it is that time where GovGuam wants to award and recognize its top performing employees. Now I have two public sector staffers who are outstanding in their own right. Will Castro from the Bureau of Stats and Plans. Will,
Half a day. Thank you for having us.
All right, and our good friend Charles Estevez from Civil Defense. Welcome back, Charles.
Half a day.
All right, so I don't think you guys can win this award because, like I said, I mean, you guys, do enough outstanding work and everything, but you guys are actually part of the team that is actually putting this together so that we can actually say thank you, congratulations, and please keep up the good work to some truly outstanding GovGuam employees.
You're correct on both points. One, all cabinet officials are exempt from participating, and number two, yes, we're here to basically encourage folks to nominate some outstanding employees, any one of 10,000.
Okay, now how exactly do we go about nominating them? Because it's kind of hard to put them into the same buckets, or you can't really normalize and say like maybe like a customer service rep at Rev and Tax is the same as like a GWA like line tech or like a water technician.
You got like 27 categories, and actually it breaks down into 55 sub-occupational groups. And so actually you could nominate an employee of the year for any one of the multiple agencies, and it's not restricted to one awardee. As a matter of fact, there were 300 nominations last time and about 127 finalists. But you're right. These awards are meant not necessarily to recognize the fine work that you do, that you get paid to do. This is really designed to highlight some of the things that you do over and above what you get paid to do on an 8-to-5 basis. So we have some really neat categories like Innovative Program of the Year. We have the Medal of Valor Award. And so you could see those kinds of innovations or heroic acts are not necessarily captured in your 8-to-5 job description. And so those are the opportunities for folks really to strut their stuff and talk about what they've done that makes them different from their colleagues and their peers.
Yeah, and so Charles, we can nominate basically anybody in GovGuam, like
you can nominate it,
so
yes,
any agency.
Any agency within governing Guam. And it's a standardized form that they use basically to fill out the information, what category they're nominating for, subcategory, and then there's the narrative that they write up. And the narrative is the most important meat and potatoes of the actual form. So,
yeah. So you got about 10,000 GovGuam employees, 6,000 in the executive branch. But we even welcome nominations from our semi-autonomous and autonomous partners, folks at the university, of course, folks at the Ports Authority. And they have 4 days. So there's a number of ways they can get the information. They can go to magproawards.com, where they can contact the Department of Labor, or they can contact the Civil Service Commission, or of course you can reach out to Chuck Estevez or myself directly. I'm at the Bureau of Statistics and Plans, and he's over at Homeland Security, Civil Defense.
Chuck's always keeping us safe, and you're just like crunching numbers and everything like that. But you guys certainly aren't busy enough to take a phone call and explain to people how it works.
No, we have good people in our rank and file that really look forward to receiving a positive statement from the community, especially if it comes down to recognizing their peers. And so we encourage that. As a matter of fact, we want folks to participate. As I mentioned earlier, the deadline would be September 23rd, so about 4 days from now. Right, and then the actual banquet will be on November 19th. But this is not all. We also have a MagPro 5K, 2K fun run walk, which Chuck could probably share with all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually been a pretty popular event, MagPro 5K. Normally we've done it around the Halloween time. We've had a costume contest that goes with it. Some people actually go into costume when they do the run.
They
so
do.
It's a pretty good event. Competing with a couple other endurance type events this year, but we feel that the actual participation for the MagPro is going to be roughly around the same amount of people we had last year, normally in the hundreds. So.
Okay, and is there any limit? Because I know, like, most people out there would say, I'd like to nominate my favorite, GPA installer for something like this, and then maybe somebody I met at the hospital, or there was this police officer who was very nice to me and everything. I'd like to do like multiple.
Sure. No, the short answer is no. As a matter of fact, you can submit as many nominations as possible. What's happening, though, is once you get it into the agencies, it's up to respective directors to go ahead and make that final nomination for that category on behalf of the agency. But the nominations are open to the general public and to anybody within any of the executive branches.
All right,
agencies.
Guys, we really appreciate it, and congratulations. And thanks for what you guys
Thank
do
you
for our
so
public.
much. Thank you so much for having us.
It's all about the employees.
All right. And it's all about you out there on this note. So we are going to say goodbye, adios, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT.